Hey everyone, Austin back again. This wasn't the video I planned on making today. I was hoping it would be an unboxing video of the Manson album that I have coming in. But I figured I might as well go ahead and get this out of the way because I've got a lot of albums to get through and I don't know exactly how I'm going to break that up, and I don't want to be super boring for everyone sitting through just album after album. So I'm going to try to break it into as many parts as possible without it feeling a little long, but I did want to devote an entire video to just my Bowie collection because I have a lot of Bowie albums. So without further ado, let's get started. The first album we have is Images, 1966 to 1967. It has really nice artwork that represents all of the songs from Bowie's first album. It was just called David Bowie. It's commonly referred to as DRAM. That was the label I believe he was on at the time. So yeah, this is my substitute for his first album. I think the artwork is a little bit more interesting, and I do plan on getting an actual copy of his first album with, you know, the artwork and everything. But this is a really nice pickup. I think that they just did a re-release of this not too long ago, like a few months ago. So if you think this looks cool, go pick it up. Yeah, got this at a used record store for 20 bucks, so not a bad find. The next one needs very little introduction. This is David Bowie. Again, it's commonly referred to as Space Oddity, I believe. So yeah, very cool artwork on the back. Nice little pattern. They actually made some bands with this circular pattern, and yeah, this album is great. Really good. So do enjoy that one. One of my personal favorites is The Man Who Sold the World. This one just has like amazing songs, like all the way through from The Width of a Circle all the way to the Superman. It's just fantastic. So I highly doubt that anyone who's watching this video hasn't, heard this album, but if you haven't, please, listen to it. This is David Bowie's Hunky Dory. This probably is my favorite Bowie album, only for sentimental reasons. It being my first introduction, but a lot of the songs are really great. The instrumentation's good. It's got really good songs. Probably my favorite Bowie song is Quicksand. If I had to look at it objectively, Quicksand's probably my favorite. Yeah, it's an amazing album, and I actually have 2 copies of this one. Just gonna detach the camera really quickly. That is a 1970s original pressing of David Bowie's Hunky Dory. My grandmother gave that to me. She's not dead, she's still alive. I was just getting into records at the time, and my aunt had pilfered through all the good stuff like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, Michael Jackson's Thriller, and taken really all of the good albums. I had heard of David Bowie before, but I never really gave it the opportunity to grow on me. But listening to it on vinyl, not having really anything else to use my record player for besides listening to Hunky Dory, really kind of made me listen to that album and enjoy it and kind of hear it how it was meant to be heard. It's a fantastic album. Just absolute amazing. Now we're getting into probably one of Bowie's most well-known albums, David Bowie and the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. This is a great album. Just like tons of great hits, Moon Age Daydream is one of my favorite songs. love listening to it. I love the opening, I'm an alligator. It's fantastic. This was actually the first album that I purchased after getting my record player. Like I'd listened to Hunky Dory on repeat on that original copy for weeks, and I went to my local record shop and saw this and was like, let me get something else. Of course, it didn't sound like Hunky Dory, so I was kind of having to get used to the change in his sound and his music. But again, fantastic album. And you're gonna find that a lot with David Bowie. Like pretty much his entire discography is just fantastic. Like I've never seen a artist over the span of 10 years just release hit after hit after hit, great album after great album. And a lot of the songs on his albums, they're not filler or they're not bad songs. They're just fantastic. Like I haven't seen an artist who has done that personally besides Bowie, where it's just great song after great song, great album after great album for like a decade. Aladdin Sane is awesome. That crazy piano solo on Aladdin Sane is just crazy. It's very unique. This one also has a ton of great songs off of it. I mean, it's just fantastic. And and this is the 45th anniversary silver vinyl edition. So, fantastic album. This one was actually more of a recent pickup. I got this while I was out of town, helping during David Bowie's Pinups. This has actually been more of a recent pickup. I kind of put getting this one off for a while because I hadn't really listened to much of the songs off of it and given them a chance. Because it was just a bunch of covers, so I didn't really feel the need to get it. But I was out of town for work, helping with the pandemic at nursing homes that the company I work for own. And on one of my days off, I went up to a record store, snagged this, and yeah, I'm happy that I did. And I've been listening to a lot more of the songs recently. The next is Diamond Dogs. And this, again, is a 45th anniversary edition on red vinyl. And it's pretty good. One of my favorite songs off this has to be Rock and Roll With Me. And Rebel Rebel. I love Rebel Rebel. And we'll get into what Bowie did with Rebel Rebel, in his later years as we move through this stack. But yeah, again, a lot of great songs off of this. My fiance bought this for me, and so it has a little bit of sentimental value there as well. But yeah, fantastic album as well. Like, do you see the pattern here yet? An original copy of Young Americans. A lot of people say that this is kind of disco oriented, but I don't really hear the disco in it. It just is very catchy, and the song's really good. Like, Young Americans is fantastic. Across the Universe, I love that. Across the Universe is just wonderful. Fascination is great too. And Fame. Fame is, you can't not dance when you hear Fame. I love Young Americans, and I probably plan at some point to upgrade my copies of the original releases to some newer ones. But for right now, I'm happy with what I have. And another absolute classic is Station to Station. It's like, what is there to say? Station to the Thin White Duke era of Bowie was rather dark, and he was in a dark place with the drugs and everything. But Station to Station is just a killer song. Word on a Wing, great. TVC 15, that's a great song. Like, all of these, it's just, I love it. So far, not a bad album. Which is what I'm saying. Like, I just don't know how one man produced album after album, hit after hit, consecutively. Starting off the Berlin trilogy is David Bowie's Low. This is probably my second favorite in the Berlin trilogy. But Sound and Vision, it's a fantastic song. I honestly wish Sound and Vision really never stopped playing. Like, I wish he just kept going on with that little that guitar riff or that little instrumentation. You know, it's just wonderful. Be My Wife, I love that. That's just a really great song. And always crashing in the same car, like, just wonderful. Love it. My favorite in the Berlin trilogy is Heroes. Beauty and the Beast, Joe the Lion, Heroes, Sons of a Silent Age, and Blackout. Like, that first half of the album is just fantastic, and even the second half is wonderful too. So if you have yet to hear the album of Heroes, which again I highly doubt anyone has yet to listen to, you know, Bowie's entire discography, but it's a fantastic album. Please check it out. My least favorite of the Berlin trilogy is Lodger. I mean, it has some great songs, but I just don't find myself enjoying the songs off this one as much. But I do like the album art the best. Like, this is kind of crazy, the postcard style. But yeah, check out Lodger. It's a good album. One of my absolute favorite albums is Scary Monsters. This kicked off Bowie's 80s decade. Scary Monsters and Super Creeps is amazing. Ashes to Ashes is fantastic. Love that song. Fashion is extremely great. And if anyone has continued watching this far, please comment down below if Teenage Wildlife sounds strikingly familiar to Heroes. Like, just the instrumentation, it gives off that Heroes vibe. And Because You're Young's great. I love it. Now we're starting to get into where Bowie started to falter just a little bit with his music. Let's Dance has good songs, but this isn't anywhere near like my favorite in terms of Bowie albums. Modern Love's a good one. China Girl's a good one. Cat People is a great one. I just don't find myself coming to back to this album as much as I do any of these other ones, but it's still worth a listen. I really like a lot of the songs off of Tonight. Like Loving the Alien, Tonight is a great one. Blue Jean, love Blue Jean. Maybe I just like his vocal delivery on Blue Jean a lot. Tumble and Twirl is really good too. And I really want to get the single that, or at least one of the singles. I don't know exactly which one, but it's a Translucent Blue. I was in a thrift store and I saw the album sleeve for the 45 from Tonight, but no album, which was pretty depressing. But yeah, Tonight, it's a good album. I think I personally like this one better than I like Let's Dance. So yeah. Again, this has been another rather recent pickup. David Bowie's Never Let Me Down. And day in, day out, great. Time Will Crawl is fantastic. But other than that, that's really about the only two that I care about off of this album in particular. So yeah, not my favorite. But yeah, David Bowie's Never Let Me Down. I am missing Tin Machine 1. So if anybody that's watching this has a copy of David Bowie's, or not David Bowie's, but Tin Machine on vinyl, I have the CD still in box. I have the cassette. I would like to have a vinyl copy. Please message me or comment, and I would be interested in buying it if it's in good condition, of course. But I did recently get Tin Machine 2, the re-release, on silver vinyl. Only 10,000 were made. And this is a fantastic album. Like, his Tin Machine era was wonderful. There are so many good songs off of both of these albums. If you have yet to listen to any of his Tin Machine material, I highly suggest that you do. Some of his best songs are on those two albums. So after taking a break from being a solo artist for like, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 years to do the Tin Machine stuff, he released, I believe he came back with Earthling. Now this is a 2015 Emerald Green re-release. I believe this was a Record Store Day Black Friday release. So yeah, I really love I'm Afraid of Americans off of this album. And I guess I really need to explore this album a little bit more, but I usually just stream this one because I refuse to break the seal off of this one. But yeah, I'm Afraid of Americans is a fantastic song. And then I believe the next album would have been Outside. That's one that I'm missing, and that album is super expensive, even for, the re-releases. It's upwards of $150. So I have yet to track that one down, but hopefully for Christmas someone will be nice enough and get it for me. But I found this really recently in one of my local record stores, Lunchbox Records, and it's still sealed, and I don't really want to open it either. But this is a fantastic album. It's more of a in rock style album, like, a lot of guitars and drums, and the songs are great, they're catchy, and it's a great album to put on if you just want something fun to listen to. Like, honestly, Hours is fantastic. So, after Hours, he came out with probably one of my utmost favorite Bowie albums, Heathen. Sunday is fantastic. I believe Cactus is a cover from a Pixie song, but his rendition is wonderful, if it is a cover. I'm not entirely sure about it. I saw something in a YouTube comment, and, can you trust the YouTube comment section? I don't really know. But regardless, Cactus is great. Slip Away is wonderful. Slow Burn. Like, every song on this album is just magnificent. I mean, I genuinely love Heathen. And I was, again, when I was, away helping with the pandemic at nursing homes, I was in a record store. I believe it was Vinyl Days in Virginia Beach. The owner had a signed copy of Heathen for $500. I almost pulled the trigger. And if I had, you better believe you'd see that signed copy of Heathen sitting right up here next to Hunky Dory. So, probably my absolute least favorite Bowie album is Reality. And mainly just because I don't like what he did to Rebel Rebel. Which I know that was on a special, like, deluxe edition or something, but his rendition of Rebel Rebel on this album is horrible. I hate how he changed the song. And I know it's his song, he can change it how he wants to. But I didn't enjoy that, and I just can't get into any of the other songs on this. Now, if there's anything that I'm missing, please let me know. I would be happy to, throw it on the turntable and, hear it, because maybe I'm just not giving it a chance. But this is by far my least favorite Bowie album. And really, every single one thus far has had, 10 out of 10, all songs great, or at the very least, half the album's great. So, it's not working for me. And up next we have Heroes Again. I'm just kidding, it's the next day. And, oh my god, he took like a 10 plus year break from reality to this. And, oh my god, it's 10 out of 10. I just hate that this was, the album right before he died. I mean, of course Black Star came out, but that was a extremely sad and, him coming to terms with what was going to happen to him. But this was fun, this was catchy, this was, he sounded great, and it's just really horrible. Cancer is a horrible disease. Because he went from sounding so full of life to just, 3 years later, just sounding, so beaten by that disease. Which I don't know if he exactly had it right now, but if you have yet to listen to The Next Day, this might be where I would start with Bowie, honestly. It's got something for everyone. It's fantastic. Like, you cannot go wrong with The Next Day. Okay, and Black Star. I love this album. I love what it represents. I love how brave Bowie was in facing his disease and giving the fans one last album. I just hate that, it ended like this. I wish we had a couple more years with him, And I wasn't even a Bowie fan when this came out. I just recently, like towards the end of last year became a Bowie fan. Like, I knew who he was. I remember where I was when he died. I was sitting in my college cafeteria and it came up on the news and I was like, damn, that really sucks. But I didn't really know any of his music. I wish I had been a longer fan, but this album is great. Like, I genuinely like listening to it. I just don't like listening to it for too long, because it can get depressing, But I think there's a lot of symbolism with this album in particular. Like, just the album itself, Black Star, that's what they say the type of cancer that he had looks like whenever they do a scan or an MRI or a CAT scan or something. It shows up like a black star, kind of. Since Bowie didn't really have any religious beliefs to my knowledge, on the B side, it's called The Other Side, and so he has all the songs listed. Well, he doesn't have all the songs listed, but it just says side 1 and then The Other Side. But when you flip it over, there's nothing there. So I feel like there's some symbolism even into the packaging of this album, with his beliefs and all that. It's just, it's a cool theory. But yeah. Black Star, it's a great album. So this is another recent pickup. I was in Barnes & Noble. I signed up for the membership, so I get, 20% off albums, and I saw this in there, still sealed, still brand new, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive, which comes with 2 black albums and 1 white vinyl, which I believe the white vinyl is the No Plan EP. So, yeah, this is but right before Bowie passed, he was working on a play called Lazarus, and this is the cast of his play. singing some of his songs, and there's some songs by that he recorded, his recordings of them. And yeah, so a really nice set. I haven't opened it yet. I don't really know if I'm going to. Not that it's extremely valuable or anything. It's just I don't know if I'm going to. I don't really enjoy opening these gatefold type albums. Yeah, don't really have too much to say on this because I haven't listened to it. And next is the No Plan EP, which I don't know if my copy of Black Star is like a later repressing where they added Lazarus into it. But I don't know why they would put Lazarus, and it's the same version of Lazarus. To my knowledge, it doesn't say anything different. It's just Lazarus. It doesn't say like some special DJ mix. Yeah, even this EP has really great songs that should have made it onto, the Black Star album. Like Killing a Little Time is great. When I Met You is fantastic. No Plan is wonderful. And of course Lazarus is, a great song. And a great music video too. Oh, that actually goes right here. Alright, so now we're getting into 45s and compilations and like side pieces, or oddities as I like to call them. So I was in an antique store that has booths and people can just sell what they want. So there was a record store booth, and I saw a cheap copy of Changes, and I really love John I'm Only Dancing, and I wish I had the 45 of the original John I'm Only Dancing, not John I'm Only Dancing again. If any of y'all have that and you want to part with it, message me. I will buy it. That's the 145 that I desperately want. But it's really beat up. Probably won't be able to see it. But I do have it in a nice sleeve. Oh yeah, you can see it. Like it's horribly battered. But it was like $2, so I grabbed it. So yeah, just something nice to have. Next one is David Bowie, Don't Be Fooled by the Name. Again, picked this up at a local record shop. He would usually just hold anything that was Bowie related for me. So I really haven't listened to this, but I believe this might be just like some covers he did. I'm Not Losing Sleep, I Dig Everything, Can't Help Thinking About Me, Do Anything You Say, Good Morning Girl, and I Say to Myself. Oh yeah, maybe. I think this might just be covers. But yeah, this is a 10-inch, and yeah. And this is Bowie Rare. So, okay, Young Americans, Panic in Detroit, John I'm Only Dancing Again. Oh, it's got Velvet Goldmine on there. That's great. Didn't even know this had Velvet Goldmine. See, that's how much I pay attention to my own collection, which I pay a lot of attention to it. Helden, oh, it's got the German version of Heroes on there. So yeah, this is just some like rare recordings that I guess maybe didn't make it over to the States because it was the 80s and not everything made it. But yeah, so this is just a nice collection of maybe like rare Bowie tracks. I am gonna give this one a listen because I did not know it had Velvet Goldmine on there. So that's actually fantastic. Oh, I forgot about this. I was on the way back from vacation, I stopped in a local record store, and, well, not a local record store. I stopped in a record store, and I had already checked out, bought me a Bowie shirt, got me Never Let Me Down, and another album you're getting ready to see, and I'd already checked out, paid him, and then I started looking through the 45s he had on the stack, or on the counter, and it was a Kingdom Come 45 with the original recording by Tom Verlaine and David Bowie's version of it. So I got it. It was $5, better than going to Subway. So I'm just gonna set that right there. The next album is Bowie Now, and this was a Record Store Day exclusive a few years ago. And it is a compilation of some of the Berlin trilogy songs. I haven't listened to this one yet, been extremely busy, but I believe that it might be remixed versions of the Berlin trilogy songs. So yeah, I am going to give this one a listen, and maybe I'll do an album review. Who knows? This is a new YouTube channel. You can go anywhere. This is David Bowie, Is It Any Wonder? This came out, I believe, at the beginning of this year. If not, it came out towards the end of last year. This is some unreleased remixes from his time in Tin Machine. And some other just like different versions of songs. So you got like Staying 97, Baby Universal 97, which absolutely sounds amazing. And The Man Who Sold the World, the live Eno mix. So this is great. I believe this was limited to like 5,000 copies worldwide. I'm not sure. I'm almost positive. It was either 5,000 or 10,000. Not sure. But if you haven't listened to this yet, I would recommend streaming it. I know it's on Spotify. For whatever reason, it's not on Apple Music. It's a great collection of unreleased versions of his music. So yeah, definitely check this out. The next two I'm going to go over briefly. Changes Now, Bowie. Fantastic. It's an all-acoustic set of some of his most popular songs. The Man Who Sold the World, Aladdin Sane, White Light, White Heat, Shopping for Girls, Lady Stardust, The Superman, Repetition, Andy Warhol, and Quicksand. Just a fantastic release, and I'm extremely happy that, you know, this was actually put out. It sounds great. And then we have the Soul Tour 74. Again, I picked this one up on Record Store Day this past weekend. So this is also, I haven't listened to it yet, but I imagine that this is going to sound great. This was Bowie in his prime, singing some of his best songs. So I am super excited to throw this on the turntable and listen to it. And I still need a sleeve one. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. The David Bowie Space Oddity 50th Anniversary Box Set. Comes with Space Oddity Original Mono Single Edit, Wild Eyed Boy from Free Cloud, the Space Oddity 2019 Remix, and Wild Eyed Boy from Free Cloud 2019 Mix. So, very nice. So now we're getting into the, well, this is probably, I put this one with the oddities because it's not, like, there's a lot of music that he did, you know, produce on here, as well as some really great songs that I wish made it onto, like, an actual album of his, like, As the World Falls Down. Fantastic. But yeah, this is the Labyrinth soundtrack, and the movie Labyrinth is great. So I know I'm missing a few albums of Bowie's. Like I said, I'm missing Tin Machine 1, I'm missing Outside, I'm technically missing The Man Who Fell to Earth, which I know he made no music for that, but his face is on the cover, and that was his first acting role, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I need to get those, but this is a really good album. Pick it up. And the last two are kind of not really Bowie related, but they are. This is the Spiders from Mars. This was the band that backed him up on the Ziggy Stardust album. So I kind of got it for that purpose. It kind of fit. I actually haven't listened to this yet, and I don't know why people like cut the corners on album sleeves back in the day, But yeah. Oh, and the spider is embossed, so you can feel it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Spiders from Mars. And the last album is Dollars in Drag, a tribute to David Bowie. Like this is just kind of strange, and the cover art's strange. Like, you got a titty right there. Yep, you can see the titty, and then you got two titties on the back. And again, this was at my local record store, and the guy was like, "Hey, you want this? It's like a cover band of Bowie, but it was released in '77, and it's just strange." I picked it up because of that purpose, and maybe I'll do an album review on this, like, just to let you all know what it's like, because I haven't really heard too much about this. But this concludes the first part of my record collection. I just want to get the Bowie stuff out of the way first, because it's literally the biggest single collection I have, so I felt like it deserved its own part. I'll probably break the next videos up into like 10-15 minutes, getting through as many albums as I can. But if you like this video and you want to see more from my collection, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you really want to, you can click that notification bell. I try to have a video out at least every day or every other day. So yeah, just stay tuned. More will be coming very, very soon.